Well, Jack, I can start by saying how much I loved the film. I mean, I'm a huge fan of People Just Do Nothing, have been for years, and to see it on the big screen was just class.
Oh, awesome! Whew.
It was so cool. I'm gonna begin by asking about if you remember your kind of first conversations with the guys and Steve and Allan and everyone about, and if you guys had any kind of hesitations to begin with, or if you were up for it from day one.
About the film.
Yeah.
I think like we were all. I mean, who doesn't want to make a film? I suppose. Like we were all very much up for that. It was just making sure that it was whatever we did was the right way of doing it. So it's like if we're going to do it, we want it to be a story we want to tell. We want it to take us places that like the series couldn't take us, or we haven't gone. Like so. Yeah, it was all about okay. Well, if we're going to do this, we got to do it for the right reasons. But hell yeah, we want to do it.
Quite a sort of challenge, the kind of balance. You want to make this cinematic and it needs to feel different from the show in the sense that it's got to feel bigger and stuff, but you never want it to feel contrived. I find sometimes, when comedies sort of translate to the big screen, it's like they feel like they need to throw in car chases or something to make it seem. But I thought you did a fantastic job of that, not losing the essence of the show, but it felt like a big screen production. But was that quite tricky to get right for you?
Yeah, that was like one of the main challenges, I think, like because it's mockumentary as well. You want it to, that's not like in the way we were doing it isn't a classically cinematic experience, but it's so important for the soul of the comedy. Like it just feels like it's captured in the moment, and like you're not. It doesn't feel directed. It feels like we're just seeing a bunch of people say stuff, and then like it happens to be mad, funny, or delusional, or whatever, and. Like that was such an important thing to keep in the style. So it's like we had to find a way to up it cinematically, but keep it soul grounded and feeling like it's just being captured in the moment. And yeah, hopefully we did that. Like and Japan, Japan helps a lot with that. Everywhere you look in Japan, it's like, yeah, I could film here. That's really cool.
Because I was you mentioned a kind of mockumentary style. What's that like as a director? Do you feel like you're filming a documentary yourself, even though you're not? Like, I just wondered how it feels to be directing a kind of fake documentary.
There's certain things like, so the way that like you block it out in your head, like it definitely doesn't feel like a documentary, I suppose. Like you kind of always, I guess that's what I'm role playing. If they're like pretending to be these characters, then I'm sort of in my head trying to work out, okay, well, how would a documentary crew follow them into this room? And then you get like extra bits of footage that you might be able to cut so it feels like we followed them around further than we have. So it's not like each scene starts with like just people just chatting like in close-ups. And the way you block it out is you don't put your cameras so that they would see where the other cameras are. So I have like little rules in my head that I sort of follow, unless it gets in the way of a joke, and then you're like, fuck that, like go for the funny. But what's really fun about the style that we use is that we can like improv a lot. So it means that like the way it starts off is everyone sort of delivering their lines, even learning their lines maybe. And we're sort of capturing that, and then someone will start talking over, like someone will think of something funny to add, like because they're all so funny, they're all looking for things, okay, I can make this funnier maybe by giving a look here, and then like you sort of start to layer it up until everyone's just chatting over each other and it's complete chaos. And then my job is then to go in and go, okay, yeah, you show up here, like that's really funny, like let's do that, like let's tell the orange story again, or like basically get to sit behind the monitor and say what I think will make it funnier, which is an awesome, it's a fucking great job.
Must be such a unique directing experience, because I guess in so many parts, a director's job is to kind of really like steer the ship. I guess in some ways, this is the art of like, when do I come in? Because I guess, like you said, they're so funny naturally, and there's so much improv that I guess a lot of it must be you sitting back and going, I'm just going to kind of let them run with this and just see how it turns out.
Yeah, sometimes. Like, I'd say it's a mix, actually. Like, what you don't want is for it to feel like it's being steered in any way. So if you like get a sense that I've done anything, then in a way I fucked up. Like that. Like if I can swear, yeah. In a way, yeah, I screwed up. Like, because if you see me at work, it's got to feel captured. It's got to feel loose. Like it's just happened. But then like we'll do 12 takes of that, and that's how many takes it will take to get to that feeling. It's weird how like when you start off, because we start off with a really amazing script, but it doesn't start off feeling like completely naturalistic. Like that takes actually a lot of work to get there, like from everyone. But yeah, like you say, they're so funny. One of the things we do, which is awesome, is impro the interviews. So you know the talking heads. Yeah. I'll just have like this list of questions that I'll just want to go through, and because they're so funny, they know the world, they know their characters so well. I can ask them like, okay, I think here's a question that I think they might find something funny in, or that connects to the theme of an episode or something like that. And then they'll just riff on that, and you'll get like hours and hours of hilarious content. Too much, we can never fit it in the show, but like, yeah.
I mean, you've known them for a number of years. You've been working them for a long time. But do you still corpse? Do you? I mean, not corpse because you're behind the lens. But what I mean is, do you have to still sit there and like stop yourself from like bursting out into laughter and ruining a scene?
100%, 100, like all the time. Like basically, usually when I say cut, it will be like followed with like, because I've got this girly giggle squeak. So it will like that will immediately follow is because I've been holding that in, or occasionally like I might giggle a little bit like while they're doing something, but luckily it's so high pitched we can usually remove it. So
how did you sit through Steve's doing Dry Your Eyes? I don't know. I honestly, I mean, I couldn't. I was crying with laughter during that scene.
I couldn't, like, no. Genuine, like I was crying and laughing through that. Like that was like. Yeah, that is definitely one where that was a special moment for me, making the whole. That was probably one of my favorite moments, making the whole film. It's because you were just sitting there thinking, okay, yeah, we've got Japan, we've got karaoke, we've got like the heart of like the film, and it's fucking hilarious. Luckily I was it was quite soundproofed, that room, so you couldn't hear me.
And I haven't even got into when they were fighting in Lycra. I mean, that's a whole nother level of laughter, I'm sure, from behind the
And that fight was impro as well. Like, so we weren't going to actually do it. And then it's like, we got to get you properly fighting. So, yeah, then we got them fighting. And then, yeah, the stuff that happens after that, which, yeah, that's all in like super impro, all of that. So it was amazing.
And I was going to ask, was it hard? Sorry, tracking down sausage rolls in Japan. Was that shot? Was that shot in Japan? That whole scene with the sausage rolls, or was that in England?
That was in England. Yeah. But I'm glad that you thought it wasn't like that.
But I did ask the guys actually about their experience in being in Japan. Had you been before? And I mean, just forgetting the kind of whole movie and the kind of working aspect of it, it must have been an incredible place just to spend some time. And I know like their snack selection is to be sort of. I mean, it's one of the most incredible things. They've got like 50 flavors of Kit Kat. It must have been great being out there.
Yeah, even like wasabi Kit Kats, which are actually delicious as well. Like I would, Japan was amazing. Like I love Japan. Like I'd never been before, so the only stuff I'd seen is like anime stuff, and like, and then we did like research trips where we went and basically just walked around listening to like Rip Groove, just walking around the thing and trying to imagine the guys in the place. But yeah, if I can't speak Japanese, but if I could, then like Tokyo is somewhere I could definitely live, because it's an awesome city. Food delicious, people lovely, and like it's just fucking mental.
Well, I mean, my last question is a bit of an obvious one to end on, but just as a big fan of the show, will we be seeing much more people just do nothing? I mean, not even necessarily just a big screen thing, but just, I mean, you look at sort of a character like Alan Partridge, and, he did his kind of movie stuff, but then he even moved into, Mid-Morning Matters and stuff. There's so much scope, isn't there? And I just wondered if you can see this sort of becoming, just continuing on, but not even necessarily in the same format it has been in so far.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, the characters exist in so many different forms already, both like on social media, their performance, their live performances, like the film and TV series, like being jokingly or calling it like the Kurupt cinematic universe. So it's like who knows where it will expand to, and like, yeah, what's next? I don't know. Yeah, yeah, it's been a mad journey so far. I would never have predicted we'd go to Japan. So like, who knows?
Yeah. Well, maybe the sequel could be in North Korea. That would be enough.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, thank you so much, Jack, and best of luck with the release of the movie. And yeah, maybe one day we will catch up again if you do anything else with these guys. And I hope
Indeed. Yeah. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey, you guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey,